That's exactly the point that's been brought up, and I was going to ask you, Matt, how important it is for your coaches here at Battle to be able to coach and not have to worry about some of the money where it's coming from, especially at a new school.
Absolutely, it's definitely important. We definitely want our coaches to concentrate on, number one, as far as academics, and then secondly, supporting the kids athletically, and for them to be concentrating on having to fundraise for their sport. That's difficult to do, and so we are looking forward to reaping some of those benefits that through the fundraising that Kelly Sports Properties has done for each and every sport. So
we talked about some of the parents, and let's talk to a parent, Nawasa. When you originally heard about this, what was your thought?
I thought about the limitations that it was going to have on our fundraising efforts. As a parent, being involved in, at the time when the program came out, wrestling, a really small sport, were we going to get the revenue that we're getting? Based on our budgets and what we had, our booster club was what took care of the funding for the overnight stays, extra gear that the boys needed, because the budget that we had took care of travel, and it took care of a little bit of equipment and officials. So my concern was, if we can't do this fundraising and you're going to get the money to us, when are you going to get it to us? Mm-hmm. Because those things have to be paid for. In order to go out and get that competition that we were used to, we needed to travel to, at that time we were going to Lee Summit, we were going to Springfield, and we were going to St. Louis. Those are overnight stays for wrestlers. Where's the money going to come from? And so initially I felt limited in what we were going to be able to do, because the money wasn't going into the account at the time when we needed it.
And let's be honest, that's the way a lot of people felt around, how is this going to affect my sport? How is it going to affect my kid, right?
Definitely, yeah.
As a wrestling parent, when you saw the scoreboards go up for football, when you saw the scoreboards go up in the gymnasium, did that raise red flag for you?
Red, burgundy, all those different colors. Because again, I'm still wondering, where is that going to come from, and how are you going to help that little sport? Because football, yeah, everybody supports it out there, and it's there. And basketball, I've got a basketball kid too. But again, that sport that my son found his mojo in, where is that going to come from? And granted, he's in the gym for that, but again, the concern was, how are you going to take care of programs such as that one? And also with track, we don't use the scoreboard outside for track.
Have you been happy with what you've seen?
I have been happy with what I've seen. I do have the concern of the money, where, have those sports seen any of the revenues that are, being promised to them? They all told me it's coming. And so we're holding on. One coach told me that they're waiting for the date. I don't think they said 5/29. So they're kind of waiting to find out what it is that they're getting.
And that's one of the things, and one of the big parts of this has been the public and private working together. And you have people like Columbia College and Brenda and Tom with MFA, and maybe you all can talk about when they came to you, when Kelly Sports Properties came to you and said, we have this kind of radical idea. What was your thought, Brenda, when they came to you and said, we're thinking outside the box, would you be on board with this?
Well, first of all, we love to think outside of the box too. So it was very attractive to us for a number of reasons. We're all about education, and when they came to us and said certainly it was supporting the athletics, we know that academics is also an important part of that. We also have some pretty great athletic teams over at Columbia College, and we have a lot of students in the Columbia Public School system, whether they're parents, staff, potential students on down the road. So we never really looked at it as an advertising opportunity. We really did come into it as a partner and wanted to certainly support the program that was being brought to us, but we appreciated the openness of the partnership opportunities so that we could certainly benefit from the benefits that were being offered, but also expand upon that and try to be able to reach out and support not just athletics, but doing Friday folders for the elementary schools, trying to support career days at the middle schools, just different things that we could do. Having our admissions counselors be able to attend some of the athletic events that's a win-win for all of us. We're able to support the community, and that's what we really saw in this partnership.
And with that being community-driven, like Columbia College does so much in the community, MFA Oil does too, Tom, and I'm sure that you guys were happy to hop on board with this.
Absolutely. And we do a lot of advertising like that with Columbia College. We advertise on the scoreboards there. Central Missouri State, we advertise with their stadium and everything like that as well. So it really came pretty natural for us. It was pretty personal for me. I had a son who was in the class that didn't get to participate in basketball and track when that was eliminated. And so, that was a problem. I have a daughter who runs cross country, and they're wearing some pretty ratty uniforms. We have a large community here. We have a great community here, and so those kids need to walk out on the field, whatever they're participating in, and be proud of what they're doing. And part of that is walking out there in a uniform that they can be proud to represent their community. So I think that's important. I think that the advertising portion for us is beneficial because you get name recognition looking outside. I'm proud to see the MFA Oil name out there and being a partner with Columbia Public Schools. And I think that those funds going back to those programs is a big deal. And it's great to see these facilities as nice as they are.
Let's talk to Angie and Jill right now. And part of this partnership too is your teams giving back to the community, because you guys can concentrate on coaching, the kids can go to school, they can play sports, but then there's also another side of giving back to the people who have helped them out, isn't there?
Yes, we feel it's very important to volunteer and to give back to the community. It's a reflection of the community with our children out on the court and in the academic realm. It's really important to focus on helping others, and when you help others, it helps you in return.
As the two-time defending state champion, I know that you guys are always out in the community.
We try and get out as much as we can. Just as Angie said, you want to be able to give back. Many of those people helped us, when we were younger. And so it's all about a community serving each other. And we want our players to be well respected on the court. And a lot of that comes from them being in the community and seeing outside of the basketball court and what their actions are like. So definitely we try and get out there as much as we can to give back.
What has your vision been so far of this partnership as a head coach?
Well, our coaching staff, when we first started with the KSP project, had a lot of collegiate experience, and so we were used to the media guides and the magnets and the schedule cards. So that portion wasn't new. What was nice was having someone do it for you instead of having to do it yourselves. What was a little bit of the shocker, though, was that we didn't get the return in the advertising that we were used to. We're used to going to Columbia College ourselves, and we had that money coming into our budget, and so we didn't have that money directly coming in, but as we've talked about here, it's coming back into our budget in different ways.
Has that been one of the impacts, is just, for lack of better terms, kind of getting used to that?
Definitely, yeah. Paula said it's been a transition, and I think we're still in that transition. Everybody's in a different part of the transition and kind of feeling their way through, but it's definitely smoothing out.
And as a parent,